It's Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder, here with the tradition that we have over on this channel. And whenever there is a new release, we are going to open up a pre-release kit and build a deck out of it. And I'm actually going to use this for our local league. So what we do here at Gone Rogue Games is you can use your pre-release kit if you attend a pre-release, and then enter the league. And every week you can add a pack to your league. And every time you lose a match, you can also add a pack. I love leagues. I've explained them on this channel a bunch of times before. I think that they keep things nice and casual yet competitive. It's like, so people that have higher skill are going to have less cards to work with, and it starts to even out. And so this is going to be just a 1v1 league, just a kind of a pickup league. You show up if anyone has a league, you can play them once per week, and then we give out prizes at the end of the season. A season usually lasts the duration of a standard set to a standard set. So we were just getting done with our Commander Masters League, which was pretty fun. It was actually, we played it in pods of 4. And some people end up with some pretty good decks by the end of it. So that's what's kind of cool about League 2, is by the end of League, you actually get to experience all of what Eldraine has to offer, because you're going to be opening a lot of packs and playing all the mechanics, and it's quite fun. One of the problems I have with like draft is it's one and done. If you drafted a cool archetype, well, you got to play 3 games, maybe 2 games, you end up having to get a bye. And it's just kind of like, well, that was fun, but now I never get to experience these cards again because they're not good enough for standard, they're not good enough for commander, and they just get kind of thrown to the wayside. And then same thing with pre-release. Pre-release is fun, maybe at 5-6 rounds out if it's a big tournament, but all in all, you know, it's over and done with, and you never use those cards again. What I love about League is you get your fill. You get to experience all the mechanics. You'd have a lot of fun with the set. And it's just, I think, the best way to play Magic the Gathering is these leagues. So if you do not have a league at your local game store, I highly encourage you to pressure them into doing a league. And if not, just pick up a pre-release kit, a couple of these pre-release kits for your friends and your play group, and kind of do this on your own. I'll be able to start providing pre-release kits for my patrons. So if you're interested in that, they're around like 18 and 20 bucks is how much they end up costing. So get a hold of me and I can get you set up and kind of walk you through how to start a league, how to run a league. And it's very, very fun. Like I said, I really enjoy it. What ends up happening, like me per se, is since my skill is typically a little more higher than most people, is I end up with a lot less packs, and then other people start getting more, you know, bombs and stuff. And it kind of feels good to even out, and the skill level gets evened out with the card pool level. But anyway, enough said about leagues. Let's go ahead and crack this Wilds of Eldraine pre-release kit, as I'm shaking the camera and shaking everything as I'm trying to get used to this new setup. Hopefully everyone enjoys the new mic here. Hopefully it is nice and clear. So they've gone back to just these kind of the black die. So maybe the white dice are getting rare now at this point, which is this is like the 4th or 5th set that's used the black backings on the die. Got that nice little Throne of Eldraine symbol. And what do we have here with, there's an arena code for someone. If they'd like to redeem that arena code, there you go. And then we have our promo is going to be the Spectre of Mortality. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile one or more creature cards from your graveyard. When you do, each other creature gets minus X minus X, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. So, I don't know. It's kind of weak. Like, we've seen these kind of Necrotal abilities before that just actually just kill something, and this actually has to have some stuff in your graveyard. So unless exiling stuff from your graveyard is actually, and it's creature cards too, wow. Typically like self-mills, you want ways to utilize your, yeah, I don't like this card. I think it's quite weak. I think it's quite weak, especially, oh, each other creature. Never mind. Look at that. There is some, maybe I should actually look at these pre-release spoilers before, or set spoilers before I actually go into a pre-release, so I know exactly what the cards do. But there you have it. This one is actually much better than I first anticipated, because I need to learn how to read. It says each other creature gets minus X minus. So it actually can be a pretty good board wipe. So this is actually a bomb. This is actually a powerhouse in like a limited format. So off to a good start with the good old, and I think there should be a token in here too with the pre-release kit. So we got a token, we got a, tokens, which have the auras on them, and we have the good old Spectre of Mortality. So actually zoom in here. Whoops, wrong way. Let's go ahead and zoom in here, and that way we can see the cards better. So first of all, I always tell people not to get married to their first pick, or their, you know, pre-release thing they opened, to really look at the full card pool before I judge it. We got the Conceited Witch, which is a 2/3 for 3 mana and gives a wicked roll to something. We have the Aquatic Alchemist, which is not bad either, and a Plunge into Winter. And I like how they have done this. I thought you get like one of every color now in draft. Yeah, does look like it. We got the Reindeer, a freeze in place, the Witch's Mark, a Collector's Vault. I actually really like this card. Draw a card, then discard a card and create a treasure token, because it ramps. So this ramps and loots. This is an incredibly powerful card in Limited. And then we have the Woodland Acolyte. Put target permanent card from your graveyard on top of your library? Sure. I mean, it's okay there, and then there's the battlefield, you draw a card. So that's actually a 3 mana for a 2/2 to just draw a card is quite good. And if you do want something on top of your library, that's pretty nifty as well. We have the Howling Gale Thing. Just a nice little Vigilance 4/4 for 4 mana. That's fine. Vigilance is actually really good in Limited, as you can attack and block. And it can also get haste as long as you own an exile. A card in exile has Adventure. So wow, that's actually a word salad color. It's actually pretty powerful, with the ability to get haste quite easily. And then our first draw is going to be the Healdal of Icy Crown. And so whenever you tap an untapped creature an opponent controls, you can pay 1. And so this is going to need ways to tap stuff. But we already have that freeze in place that works with tapping. And so, yeah, you can actually get a lot of value out of this. So, again, this is what I like about League. Even if we don't end up pulling a lot of cards that work with this card, as League progresses, this card will just get better and better as, get more freeze in places and whatnot. And our first of the lore cards, or whatever they call these suckers, is going to be the Blood Moon on this. It used to be a very expensive card when it was played heavily in Modern and in Legacy, but it's been reprinted so many times at this point. We got the Archon of Glory, a spider food, which can destroy stuff and create tokens. Not dead after all. And a Spell Stutter, which counters spells. Another flyer, so our white is pretty heavy at this point on the first couple packs. We got a Celebration, the Bespoke Battle Garb. Edgewall Pack, nice little 3/3 for 4 mana, and also creates a 1/1 rat creature token, so there's a lot of things that work with that mechanic. The Prophetic Prism, that's been printed a billion times. And a Frantic Firebolt, which deals X damage to target creature, where X is 2 plus a number of cards in your graveyard that are instant or sorceries, and or have Adventure. So it's a nice little shock type effect. Only does to creatures, though. Can't go to players, it looks like, or planeswalkers. So it's just going to go for creatures. But removal is really good in Limited, so that is always a welcome card. We destroy target non-land permanent. Its control creature, a 1/1 white human creature token. Wow! That is pretty good. That's like be something that can't kill a land, but still, that is just that is a really solid card. Because who cares about the 1/1 white creature? By the time you're on 3 converted mana cost, a 1/1 is going to be so pointless. So, and then we have the Johann Apprentice Sorcerer. So once per turn, you cast an instant sorcery from the top of your library. Again, a good build me around card. If we start getting more of these instant sorceries, even though if we can't play it for a while, this is still a really good card as time goes on. We have the Witchstalker Frenzy. Deals 5 damage to target creature. Again, instant speed, which is good. It looks like they've printed a bunch of these as instant speed removal, which is always good. And then we have the Raging Battle Mouse. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less. In the beginning of your combat, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, target creature can get +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's just a 2/1 for 2. And it's a little bit, it's a little bit awkward. I wouldn't call this like a huge powerhouse. Like, it's definitely a build me around card. And we have the Dark Tutelage as our lore card. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of the library, put that card in your hand, you lose life equal to its mana value, which is, not bad. And then we got those. So, on to the next pack. Oh, and we bump the camera as usual. We create a token roll, a roll token, and a 3/3. So, get value off those adventures. Play an additional land for 2, so next explore, you don't get a draw card, but eventually get a 5/4 reacher that gets ramped out quicker. We have the, I'm off camera there, we have the Rowan's Grim Search with a little bargain. You can look at the top card of 4 cards of your library and put up to 2 of them in your library in any order, and the rest in your graveyard if it's bargain, and then you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. So it actually can do quite a bit off of 1 card. And we have the Johann's Stopgap, as well as the Slumbering Keepguard, and the Minecart Daredevil, as well as an Evolving Wilds, which is good, and a Merry Bards. You create a hero roll on a creature. So again, now our red is pretty stacked here. We've got another Woodland Acolyte, another Collector's Vault. Geez, that's super strong. Another Howling Gale thing, man. I am really liking green so far for what we've got. The Thunderous Debut. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. Move up to 2 creature cards from among them if the spell was bargained. Put the revealed cards on the battlefield. Otherwise, put the revealed cards in your hand. So, of course, you want to bargain these, but I can actually anticipate this to being a nice little, tooth and nail. It only goes through 20 cards, but through 20 cards you should be able to find if you're playing 3 or 4 copies of stuff. And there's a lot of 2-card combos that just win the game. But it is 8 mana. What does Tooth and Nail Entwined end up being? I can't remember. It's been so long since I played a tooth and nail deck. But you know, I've had a lot of fun with cards like these in the past. We have the Griffin Ari, which I actually really like this card when it was in standard. So if you gain 3 more life, that's food. That's very easy to do in this format. You get a 2/2 Griffin. So that's actually a really cool card to work around in this league. And then we have a foil Merfolk Coralsmith and some lands. So again, we're kind of all over the place. The blue is super light. The black is super light at this point too. I'm liking our green. The white, of course, is just solid. It does have a lot of filler cards. I don't really like it, but you know, it can be. Well, this is kind of cool because this can make a land a 3/3 or just go get a land on first turn and fill up your graveyard. We have another Conceited Witch. We've seen that one. Another Aquatic Alchemist. We saw the one. This is like the same pack now. Now that's different. Okay, so we can return a creature from graveyard to the battlefield and create a hero roll. So these type of cards did see play with just returning. What was the one that was not that long ago that saw a lot of play? Because you basically can cheat it's 1 less mana to get back something. The Grabby Giant, which creates a treasure token for just 2 mana, so it can ramp into itself. And the Skybreeze Tracker, which creates those foods to create those griffins. So yeah, we're starting to get some good stuff here. We have the Cursed Courtier, Lifelink, and another one, 3/3 Lifelink with the Griffin Ari. I'm already starting to see a lot of stuff. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card with the up to Beanstalk, which we do have a few already. Some good old Porridge. 2 damage to a creature. You have to choose one that hasn't been chosen so far. It's going to do 2 damage to a creature, tap a creature, so there's our tapping with Yalda, or sacrifice it to gain 3 life, which again goes with the Ari. So we got some really good combos so far in this pool. We have the Ingenious Prodigy, which has Skulk, and enters the battlefield with X+1 counters. And in your upkeep, if it has 1 or more +1 counters on it, you may remove a +1 counter to draw a card. So yeah, this is a pretty decent card. If you have a lot of ways to put counters on it, you can get a lot of value. Is there anything that draws a card that puts a +1 counter on something too? I wonder if there's some infinite combos with this sucker. I guess it's the Beanie Wrap Keep, so it wouldn't be infinite. And we have the Knightly Valor, which is kind of a weird lore card. I guess they had to put some filler stuff in here because it's pretty overcost at that point. We do got our first full art land in the form of the island. 2 more packs to go here. We have the Curse of Werefox, which puts rolls, lots of rolls here. Another Destroying a Creature enchantment, so they're giving more enchantment removal to black. That's going to make some people mad. Put a Wicked Roll on something. And the Sleight of Hand gets a print in Standard, which we'll definitely see play. This is one of the more powerful cards printed for a cantrip. Another Knight, we've seen this one. Another Beanstalk Worm. Grim Search. And the Freeze in Place, so we got 2 freezes to go with Hilda and the Grand Ball Guest. Another Reindeer. We have the Numbing Depths, so another way of tapping. So we have this like blue-white tap strategy that's pretty decent. What's cool about League 2 is you can build multiple decks. You can do it actually in pre-releases too. So I have this like white-blue tap things down, tempo-ish strategy. We got like a good red-green aggro strategy going on. Hopefully like even like a red or a green-black type strategy. So far I am liking the white and the blue. There doesn't seem to be too much blue at the moment here. We have Neva Stalked by Nightmares. When enchantment you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1 counter on it, and enters the battlefield, return a target creature enchantment card from your graveyard hand. That's a lot of value there for just 2 or for 4 mana. And we got ways again to tap creatures down. Enters the battlefield to tap an enchanted creature. So if we can actually pick up another Hilda, it's gonna be super good. We have the Decadent Dragon. A 4/4 is always good, and Flying Trample. And whenever it attacks, you create a treasure token. So this is very similar to our good old dragon in the past, the Glory Span. But the thing is that added 2 mana and had haste, so it's not quite as good. Exile top 2 cards of target opponent's library face down. You may look at and play as long as you remain. So it actually curves into itself, which is good. And we got the Intangible Virtue, which actually really does work with our Griffin Ari type strategy that's going on. So you got a lot of those lore cards on color in white. So last pack here, we have another Curse of Werefox. Ooh, I'm way off camera. Jeez, I am a noob at this. Plus 0/0, draw a card, cantrip. Not terrible. This is actually, that's pretty strong. If it wasn't in black, if it was in like green or red, this would be a super strong card, like heroic type strategies or targeting type strategies. We have the Celebrant here, and another Spider Food, and another Naughty. The Daredevil, +2/+1 until end of turn, and then a 4/2. These guys were super good back in old Eldraine. Another Evolving Wilds makes us easily splash for like black now if we go the white-blue. So yeah, I could already foresee myself going like green-red and then a white-blue-black deck, Esper deck. So we have more of the 3/2s, another Monstrous Rage, +2/0 and gets a +1/1 roll. That's actually pretty good too. And whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it. Pretty sweet. That's for just a 2/3. This feels like a rare to me, not an uncommon, but I think they wanted it to really matter with these adventure spells. We have the 5 mana bargain. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if it's bargain, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. So you have to cast it with a bargain, though. It's cool the trigger does go on the stack, though, so even if they counter this, the bargain should work because it's as you cast this. No, then it has to enter the battlefield. Never mind. Doesn't work like I thought. And we have another on color now with Will, Sign of Peace. Spells you cast this turn cost X left for the amount of life you've done. So again, the food tokens, you can start reducing things. So kind of cool, 2/4 vigilance. And then our last one is Layla the Void, which this sucker was an expensive card at one point, but now it's just been reprinted and reprinted. And we do get the Mountain. So again, this is what is kind of wrong with this pool as far as pre-release. I mean, I think that it really is putting us into kind of a, like, I would splash a color for sure, but we have a lot of on-color, white, blue cards that actually work quite well. Our black is super strong too if there's ways to fill up the graveyard. We didn't see a lot of that though to fill up the graveyard. We do have some things that, like the 2 Collector's Vaults, of course, are good. Like this, I really think this Griffin's Ari is not bad of like a strategy if you can get it out and start gaining life. Yeah, it is though. It's a pool that's definitely lacking. Like there isn't a like clear cut. Like as far as like the most playables here, it looks like red could get us there with a curve. We have a lot of like 3s into 4s. But actually, this seems pretty weak too. But then it does fill into green pretty strong as well, which is these like 2 Howling Gale things, and just really try to close out the game as quickly as possible. But all in all, this pool is quite lackluster, in my opinion. But again, this is why I love the leagues, because we have a lot of build around me cards. So it almost feels like a brewing type format with League, because you can start to find, oh, okay, this guy works off of gaining life, got a lot of food, lifelink type stuff, and then we can cast some big spells. And it's really, really fun as time goes on, as just more packs are added. You get to really feel the mechanics and kind of theme and just spirit of each set. So I highly, highly encourage everyone, if they haven't played in a League, to do so. And again, that's something I love to offer as a unique experience to like my patrons is if you don't have like a good local game store, if you don't have a group, or if you do have a group, that's even better. If you just like to play more of that, like everyone gets together and meets at someone's house type stuff, I'd love to supply you with all of your needs, from things like pre-release kits to dice to playmats to binders, all that sort of stuff. I know a couple of my patrons do run their own little house gigs here, and they have their own little mini shops, I would say, just for their game nights. So if you're ever interested in that, just you feel free to message me, and I can walk you through the process on how to start that. Before I started a game store, we played Friday Night Magic in my basement. We had a couple fold-out tables, and there is a bat that just flew in our store. I don't know if anyone sees. That is crazy. So that is a bad omen here. The bat just flew in. Anyway, I better take care of this before I get rabies. This has been Kevin with Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.